Sahana vavatu sahana bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahe tejasvinavaditamastu Om ma vidvishavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning. Time for Manipura third chakra practice. We're going to jump right in, and anything that we do today, I will offer an alternative sitting upright. To start out, we're going to get the hang of Kapalabhati breath. Somehow, till this week, I didn't know that translated to shining skull breath. Who doesn't want to do shining skull breath? Kapalabhati, it seems like it would be a pranayama practice, and it is, but it also is classified as a purification practice. So similar to doing a neti pot. To make sure that we're going to work with the correct muscles, let's start by inhaling through the nose and then make your mouth into a tiny little pinhole and exhale out. And what you're trying to do is feel the muscles in here work when you do that. Let's do it a couple more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through a little tiny pinhole mouth so you feel your belly. One more time. All right, let's go ahead and tune in, and then we'll come back to doing Kapalabhati breath. All right. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Work with Mulband, drawing energy up, containing energy. Good. All right. Let's go back to that Kapalabhati breath. We did it through the exhale through the mouth just to get the hang of what it feels like to engage the correct abdominal muscles. But for the rest of the practice, it'll all be in and out through the nose. So powerful breath out through the nose where you feel your belly working. And then do your best to be completely relaxed for the inhale. Let it be passive. Let's just do a couple of practices. All right, we'll pause for a second. So ideally, everything in our head, neck, shoulders is completely relaxed. And to aid in that, if you like, you can put your hands up behind your neck or behind the back of your head. That locks out the scalene muscles that sometimes assist in breathing and forces all of the work for the breath down into the abdomen and diaphragm. So if this position works better for you, we're going to go ahead and do a longer round of Kapalabhati. Here we go. Great, keep going. Oftentimes we use pranayama to calm and soothe. Kapalabhati is more of a heating and energizing breath. So you may notice that that happens. That's a good sign. If you feel lightheaded, then just slow down. If it feels like too much, just go at a slower pace or take a break. Keep going. See if you can notice that there is a vacuum created from that powerful exhale and that the breath is sucked in based on that vacuum. We're doing Kapalabhati this morning largely to waken up the abdominal area to prepare for some advanced bandha practice. And you're getting the additional benefits of Kapalabhati, even though we may not be specifically speaking about them, and that is oxygenation of the blood, which helps with your immune system. And also it's supposed to be profoundly beneficial in purifying the sinuses and the frontal sinuses in the skull. Great, inhale. Work with Mula bandha. Feel your shining skull, and then exhale. I'm working with some alternatives to just simple cross-legged sitting today because it's good to mix it up for if you have any sciatica or other pinching conditions in your hips. Let's do a little bit of spinal warm-up before we move to the asanas. So hold on wherever is convenient, and we'll use our arms to help us arch the spine forward and backwards, working with the breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Great, inhale, tall spine. Work with Mula bandha. Good, let's move up the spine a little bit to the area around the mid-chest. You can grasp your opposite fingers in a really tight grasp so that you've got a tug from elbow to elbow, and then pivot around those clasped hands, elbows moving through a nice big range of motion. Using this to loosen up the vertebra that can get so stiff right in the back of the heart. Good, inhale, tug across your fingers, lift up on Mula bandha. Exhale, relax. Let's take our fingertips up to the tops of the shoulders and we'll pivot from side to side. Perfect. Come to center. Inhale, engage Moband. Exhale, relax. And we'll just do a little bit of inhaling, shrugging the shoulders up. Exhale, relaxing them down. And in fact, after they relax down, pull them down your back a little bit. Great. Inhale up. Exhale down. Draw them down your back. Good. Great. All right. Now we're going to work largely with the rectus abdominis today. Those are the muscles that are used for Nauli Kriya, which is going to be the peak of the asana practice today. So come over to your back or sit upright with your feet planted on the floor. We're going to start with some contracting of the rectus abdominis alternately side to side. So if you're sitting in a chair, you're going to lift up one knee and bring your head towards your knee and go side to side like that. And if you're down on the ground, alternately bring one knee and one elbow towards each other, with the idea that you're contracting from here to here, from like pubic bone up to the rib cage. So rectus abdominis are those muscles that are the six-pack muscles. So visualize the six-pack muscles underneath whatever additional packaging we have. Visualize them working. Great. Relax. For the next one, it's going to be a little bit like you're rolling yourself up to shoulder stand. You can have your legs like you're sitting in a chair. You can use the strength of your arms and imagine that these muscles in here are helping you to take your legs over the top of your head. If you're doing this seated in a chair, you're going to do one leg at a time. And then if you are seated upright, then you're going to do this, it's going to be more of a passive movement of resistance with your hands. You'll push your hands into your legs and your legs into your hands, and then release, press and release. And you can do that same variation lying on your back. And if you can, you're going to use your hands to push your legs as far away as you can, and then bring your legs back. Push them away and bring them back. Excellent. Okay, and then we'll stretch out. We'll alternate side to side stretching and contracting. So extend your right arm and leg out and get a lovely long stretch, and bring the opposite knee up tight into your body, and then we'll switch. You can use your hand on the bent knee to create a little resistance. Ah, great. All right. Do whatever works best to help you feel like you're stretching this area out. Relax on your back for a second. Okay, good. Roll over. Come upright. And now we're going to start working with the bandhas. We're going to work mostly with variations on Uddiyana bandha, but in order to do that, let's just refresh what Jalandhara bandha looks like, because you use it anytime you're doing Uddiyana bandha. So it's bringing together of the upper chest and the chin. When you move into it, you can inhale deeply and feel your chest lift up. Step 1, as you exhale, bring your chin down into the notch of your throat. Lift your chin, relax to breathe. Neck lock, Jalandhara bandha, can be done with the breath held in or out. Today we'll be doing it out only, because that's what you do with Uddiyana bandha. This is similar to, some of the benefits are similar to doing a headstand, where you've got deep compression in the throat, in the carotid sinuses. So it briefly, but raises the blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, this may be a posture that you want to be cautious with, or not do at all, or do very lightly. And because of that lift in the blood pressure, you might also avoid or do a minimized version if you have heart conditions. So let's do a couple more rounds of Jalandhara bandha. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, bringing the chin into the notch of the throat. focus on the compression there in the throat area. Deep compression of the thyroid gland, which regulates your entire metabolism. When you're ready to breathe, relax everything and let the breath come in naturally. The brief raising of the blood pressure that I mentioned is part of a regulatory cycle. It's deliberate in the practice because it helps to normalize and create the healthiest possible blood pressure. Let's do one final round of Jalandhara bandha independently. And notice that if you're sitting in a chair, your hands would just be on your knees in exactly the same position. Actually, I practiced a lot of these this week in a chair and it was easier, so I recommend it. Here we go. All right, so we've got the hang of Jalandhara bandha, and now let's start working with Uddiyana bandha. And we're gonna do that standing. If you prefer, I can't see you, so you can do it seated on the floor, but also sitting in a chair is a very great way to do it. So I'm gonna be sort of bent over standing. You use your hands to support you. Make sure you have a nice firm grip on your thighs. And in a moment, we'll see that we're going to be using our arms and the strength of pushing into the legs is going to help us with the next bit of practice. So straight spine. We'll take a nice, full, deep inhale in. And then exhale, maybe bend your knees a little bit more. Chin comes into that notch of the throat, lifting up on Mul Bandh, and squeeze out all of the breath that you can. The navel scoops back towards the spine, the whole abdomen scoops back. And then you relax out of everything to breathe in. So for me, the tip that helped me get Uddiyana bandha is once you have the breath completely out and you're physically fully in the position, then you engage the muscles of taking an inhale without letting any air come in. And that creates the suction and the vacuum that gives that incredible deep massage to the abdomen. So let's do a couple more rounds and see if we can get that full sensation of the flying up of Uddiyana bandha. Inhale, feel your chest lift as you inhale. Exhale. Exhale everything. Chin comes to the notch of the throat. And now contract the muscles like you are taking a breath in. And relax everything in order to let the air come back in. You can regulate how intense the experience is, how intense the increase in blood pressure is by how much you contract those muscles of respiration. Let's do one more round just like we've been doing. All All right, give yourself a little break. We're gonna do a few more rounds, and this time we'll add, if you feel like you've really got the hang of it already, then you can walk your hands up your thighs so that you're straightening up a little bit, and that creates tautness in the abdominal area, and it'll intensify make the benefits more profound. Let me say that. All right, so let's do another 3 rounds. Deep inhale, lifting the chest, exhale, breath comes out, chin comes to the notch of the throat. Engage the muscles like you're trying to take a breath in. Walk your hands up. Walk your hands down, release everything and breathe. If the walking the hands up doesn't enhance the practice for you, you don't need to do it. What you ideally would feel is a tautening of the muscles, because you're moving the 2 ends that are contracted further away from each other. All right, deep inhale. And we'll do a 3rd and final round. Good, and now give yourself a break. Relaxing on your back if you want. I should have mentioned while we were doing that, is part of what you're trying to feel is that rectus abdominis. You'll start to feel these 2 distinct segments on either side of your belly contracting towards the midline. And we'll work with that again in just a minute. Give yourself a break. Either roll along your spine or roll over to your side so that you can come back upright. So next we're going to work with isolating one side of the rectus abdominis at a time. Profound, deep massage to all of the internal organs. Regulates blood flow, which I'll describe in a better way in the class description. So, just like when we stood up a little bit to get Uddiyana bandha to feel more distinct, you can, you can do the next segment either down on the ground, sitting in a chair, or that semi-standing position is the best because you've got the most space between here and here. Okay, so for Nauli Kriya, we're going to start out by just contracting the left side. it will be somewhat similar to Uddiyana bandha, except for once we have the breath out, you're going to let this area be a little more slack, and you're going to press down with your left hand and then release, press down and release. And notice that as you press, it helps you to engage this left side, and you're going to feel the whole ridge of muscles move towards the midline. So let's see if we can get that. Inhale. Exhale. So in our Uddiyana bandha, but keeping some slack into the midline. Now press down with your left hand, and that will almost automatically make the left rectus abdominis engage. Ease off, engage, ease off, engage, and then release all of that to breathe. Let's do the left side again, and you can regulate how much, how intensely you want to do this practice. Any amount of contracting and releasing Nauli Kriya is going to be great, and if your current health doesn't warrant you to go crazy with this, then don't do it. Don't do it so hard. Okay, so here we go. Let's inhale. Exhale. And now push with the left arm. Feel these muscles contract. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Great. And now let's come over and do the right side. Inhale. Exhale. And now push and release. Right arm only. Push, release. Push, release. Push, release. And relax. Breathe in. Another round on the right side. Inhale. Exhale. And now we're going to alternate. So we'll push through the left arm, then the right arm, left arm, right arm. We'll do a few rounds like that. Inhale. Exhale. I'm exaggerating the amount that I'm pushing and kind of shifting my body around. Your body can stay pretty still. Another round. And we'll do a third and final round. Go ahead and relax in whatever position that you'd like to. Go ahead and rock your way up to seated. And we'll do an interesting meditation practice. You can just let your hands rest one inside of the other in your lap. And the meditation is an odd breathing technique. So I'm sipping air in, and it's as though I'm trying to sip air through a straw down and fill up my belly. You just continually do it, and you concentrate on the sounds of your breath. Air will leak in and out, so you'll end up getting a full cycle of inhale and exhale, even though you're perpetually doing this sipping sensation, sipping movement. You can visualize the air like a fluid that's filling up your stomach, overflowing your torso with the sipped in air. Focusing on the sound of the breath. Sipping in the air like it's a nectar. Excuse me. And as you keep going, I'm going to read a bit about this particular practice. This meditation is to change your hidden urges, your hidden thoughts. If you're unable to change your energy, it is difficult to change your thoughts. And this practice is to change your energy. This practice shifts your energy immediately. It breaks the tension created in the battle between the false self and the real self. It helps to establish a moment of communication between your mind and your reality. After doing this practice, you cannot think the same way. It completely rejuvenates your pranic body and gives you reserve energy. The mantra is the sound of the breath. Focus on the mantra and the energy that you feel coming from the practice. It should feel like, in addition to sipping, you're also swallowing the air that you're taking in, the prana that you're taking in. Keep going a bit longer. This practice allows us to communicate with our real self, to put aside the masks and all the unnecessary things that we might think make us great. It is our own existence, our reality, our presence that makes us great. We'll keep going just a couple minutes longer. We're drawing this breath down, the prana down into the area of Manipura. Manipura is the power center. It's where we draw in energy, sustenance, nutrition from from the external, and then distribute it for our throughout our body, throughout our mind, throughout our psyche. When we have a sense of our own personal power, we are less impacted by outside influences, by the judgments or opinions or criticisms of others. We feel confident and unfazed by those external sources. We have a clear sense of what true is for ourselves. In just a moment, we're going to end, and we'll be very oxygenated. So we'll be holding our breath, and you're going to hold it as long as you can, and that may be a lot longer than you normally can because there's so much oxygen in your circulatory system right now. Once your breath is drawn in and held in, then you're going to feel the prana that you've been building, distributed throughout your entire body. Go to every cell, go to every atom of your being. And here we go, final inhale. Hold the breath and distribute chi, prana, kundalini, energy, shakti. Feel a sense of grace, ease, equanimity, poise, and when you're ready to exhale, go back to normal breathing. We'll do a few minutes of relaxation. If you prefer doing that lying on your back, we'll lie on your back. Choose the position that feels the best for you. It may add to the experience of your relaxation or meditation right now to visualize the 10-petaled golden flower that symbolizes Manipura chakra. 10 golden yellow petals around the outside. You can trace those petals in your mind's eye if you like. In the center of the circle is a triangle with the tip pointing down, representing the upward movement of fire, of energy, of dynamism. If visualizing any component of that is beneficial to your practice right now, then use it. if while you're relaxing or meditating, it enhances your practice to mentally chant Ram, Ram, Ram. Feel free to do that. And oftentimes people can feel a pulsing sensation deep in the belly. And if that is what presents itself to you, then use that to enhance your practice. All right, we're going to start to wiggle and move. You can take your attention to your body. Notice that you have a body. Move your fingers. Move your palms, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders. Move your toes, your feet, your ankles. Pedal your knees, move through your hips. You might want to stretch your whole body, long stretching the entirety of your spine. If you're lying down, you can rub the soles of your feet together and the palms of your hands. Perfect. And again, if you're lying down, you can bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, drop your knees from side to side. If you're upright, you can just reach your hand across to an opposite knee and twist side to side that way. And then we'll come all the way back upright, hands together in at the center of the chest. Sit for a few seconds, just experiencing an enhanced sense of energy. I actually just feels more like strength. Maybe power is a word that works for you. Confidence. Imprinting that sensation, knowing that that will go with us throughout the week, throughout the days, years, months ahead. And let's chant Satnam 3 times to finish out our practice. Let's bow to the strength, the energy, the confidence, the power in each other. Satnam, Namaste. Thank you. See you next week.